Hi, this is Scott Millan for the APT News Network with In Your Corner. Does running 5 miles or more a day really help boxers and other fighters in the ring or cage? Boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and other combat sports are extremely physically demanding. To better prepare fighters for competition, it is recommended to prescribe a strength and conditioning program, but not necessarily the kind of program you might be thinking of. Most of us are familiar with the training montages in the Rocky films, but is that really the best way for boxers or fighters to train? As it turns out, for the past several decades, fighters may not have been receiving the best conditioning tips from their coaches. Running 10 miles a day and doing thousands of push-ups and sit-ups may sound like the perfect program for a fighter, but more modern exercise physiologists might say they had it wrong the whole time. The results of a study in the National Strength and Conditioning Association Journal on lactate levels during 3-minute rounds of boxing concludes that this result highlights the need for a well-developed anaerobic and buffering capacity and indicates that world-class boxers must be able to tolerate a substantial level of acidosis to produce high levels of boxing activity until the end of the match. Though combat sports such as Muay Thai and MMA use both anaerobic and aerobic energy systems, in light of the research on the need for buffering and tolerating acidosis, does medium or long slow distance cardio hurt or help? By only training aerobic energy systems such as long distance running, you might be doing more harm than good. Additional research on concurrent aerobic and anaerobic training shows that too much aerobic training can impede strength and power development, which may limit the effectiveness of a fighter's blows. An old school boxing trainer would probably tell you to stop lifting weights and only stick to calisthenics. But research shows that a healthy combination of strength, power, and endurance training, as well as training specifically for speed and stamina, is really what's needed. Other studies have also found a correlation between grip strength and prowess in the ring. Fighter strength and conditioning should also be specifically tailored for their sport, meaning that the movement patterns enhanced in training should resemble those of the fighting style. When it comes to cardiovascular conditioning for combat sports, the NSCA recommends adding in high-intensity interval training. Higher intensity and lower volume training is more specific to combat sports and really tackles the anaerobic energy systems. So to make a long story just a little bit shorter, if your boxing coach has been doing the same style of conditioning for the last 30 years, chances are he just might be 30 years behind. I'm Scott Millan for the APT News Network, and this has been In Your Corner.